Good day, Josu here. Today we're going to talk about the things you shouldn't do in the game. Knowing these things will contribute to your being a good player in the game and also help you avoid other things that you may have practiced inside the game. So let's find out the common mistakes that other players make among us. For future players and newbies both could stay away of these as well. Using excessive potatoes buffs. It is well known that finding luxury potatoes is costly and rare. Don't waste them. Using croquettes or rillettes is a better option for leveling in Fountain of Recovery than using your luxury potatoes, such as Luxuries EXP Potatoes. Simply use these luxury potatoes during the Hell event instead, as it is more worth it due to the increased experience points awarded for each combat. Additionally, you should only use Luxuries Hunt potatoes for farming in Super Boss, improving their value, rather than spending them on farming things or essence drops. So, try to save as many of your fancy potatoes as you can, whether you recently got them for free or bought them at the store. Make good use of them. Getting Receptor, Destroyer, and Legend jobs. Getting the Receptor job is not a good idea as your first rank 3 job because this job takes a lot of time to build. Also, having a Destroyer is not a good idea as a first job. Besides its slow skill casting, this job is delicate, which makes it difficult for a newbie player to build it. And one more thing. Don't make Legend your first job because it's too dangerous to use, and another one is risky for a newbie. The following jobs are very vulnerable to joining parties and must take time to build. But if you really want these jobs as your first rank 3 jobs and you want to challenge yourself, I suggest watching my video link after to finish this video. I believe to you guys, all of you can do anything if you have your full courage. Not choosing a good slot of weapons. Being too excited to choose a base weapon that you will limit break is also not a good practice in the game. Choose at least 4 good slots of cores, like green, red, and blue. Always think that everything takes time, or a lot of time sometimes. In fact, avoid being in a hurry and think that it is better to speed up the building of jobs because, as I said, those things really take time. Rushing things in the game will lead to weak character and an inconsistent status of character. Skipping climbing Tower of Time. Not climbing the Tower of Time or skipping it is not a good idea. Some say that it is not that important, but for me, it will take only a half hour and a few minutes. Also, it has a lot of benefits. Even if you're not clearing B9 or can't do the Night Tower, you can get your Mori after a month. You can also get a rune potion here that you can use to build your armor and weapons. So I suggest climbing 1 to 90 floors in a Tower of Time. Skipping dailies. Not doing your daily quests is also not a good thing to do in the game. Because of this, you get 50 gems every time you finish the whole quest. Another thing is that you can also get boss tickets here that you can use for entering bosses. Mostly, doing the whole quest can only take 5 minutes, so don't skip doing daily quests. Skipping FDZ. It's not a good idea to skip or not clear the FDZ dungeon either, as it rewards magic coin gold that you can use to create high ether, which you can then use to upgrade your other weapons and your Akashic weapon from LR to R. You can also utilize it made of rare runes, which are the best runes in my opinion, and have a greater chance of providing your armor and weapons with good stats. Thus, I advise daily clear FDZ. Buying unnecessarily things in the public market. Purchasing unnecessary items in a public store, such as expensive clothes, accessories, and outfits, can be a bad idea. Always make wise use of your skills if you are also building jobs. If you are a novice and your current skills are insufficient and you spend excessively on other items, such as fashion, it will be very difficult for you to build jobs. However, if there are other ways to earn Zells, there won't be any issues. If you're interested in gaining Zells in the game, I recommend watching my video on how to get a lot of Zells in the game. Thus, if you want to effectively build your job, make the most use of your skills. Getting many jobs in your early days in Alchemia story. It's also not a good idea to take on many tasks and focus on multiple jobs in the early stages of the game because the weapons you need to concentrate on will be divided. To ensure that all of your previous jobs go smoothly, I advise you to take jobs or develop jobs one at a time. To avoid taking on too many tasks, I also advise you to carefully consider your options and really think about what job you should choose rather than getting all of them. It is preferable to take your time developing your primary jobs. Your mastery of a particular profession determines your power in the game, not the number of jobs you have. To get in trouble or drama in the game. One of the problems that the game is also facing is the issue within the players. Often there will be misunderstandings and the immaturity of other players here. As we are responsible players and understand them better, I suggest that, as much as possible, we stay away from the issues of creating drama within the game and also avoid being toxic in the game to maintain peace. Maintaining your reputation in the game is essential, as it will impact the way you act both within the game and during parties, where you will surely interact with other players. Additionally, maintain your reputation in the game so other players have a good impression of you, since we players will ultimately collaborate as well. Spending your gems over the beauty room. It's also not a good hobby to spend your gems in a 500 gem beauty room, especially if you also want to make progress in the game. We are able to pull and draw suitable armor because of it. As a result, we are also able to purchase packs that include necessary components for constructing equipment that will increase your gaming abilities. Always save your gems, because sometimes we don't even know when the lottery we've been waiting for comes out. The armor lottery is repeated every 2 weeks or a month, and sometimes it's random. As a result, sometimes we end up spending our gems on nonsense stuff, thinking the lottery you've been waiting for won't come out yet. In terms of bond points, which may still be new to others, this is the new feature that replaced the old bond points system. In the new update, it has been divided into 2 parts, individual boosts and overall boosts. In the individual boost, you need to complete a task from solo quests for you to have the points that will sustain your solo boosts. It's the same with the overall boost, where you need to complete the task to have the points that will sustain the points for overall boosts. But also, specific players only have access to change buffs here, like the bond leaders or those who have been given access to or permission to change boosts. The only thing you should avoid here is using your points in solo boosts too much or over. I suggest using them if you really need them, or if you're going to battle, just use them one at a time. Don't spend your abundant points here when you're not sure if you'll play for a long time, it will be useless. Because the time runs even if you're offline. Mostly I use them when doing dungeons, basement clears, and boss battles, because it's also a waste because I haven't been able to clear my solo quests since I'm quite busy. Joining in parties even while doing something or having unstable connection. Even though you are aware that your internet connection is a little inconsistent, joining parties is not a good idea either, since this will simply result in mistakes in battle, particularly if your duties involve support and debuffing, which often require precise timing. Moreover, avoid engaging in battles with parties while working on other stuff. Make sure you're not doing anything since you attend parties. It will cause you to become distracted, making it difficult for you to concentrate during battle. In order to guide your team through a successful series of battles, I advise you to select a time or schedule when forming a group and take action to set your schedule as free at specific times. In summary, to be a successful player in Alchemia story, avoid using luxury potatoes excessively, choose your job wisely, take time in selecting weapon slots, climb the Tower of Time, complete daily quests and FDZ dungeon, refrain from buying unnecessary items in the public shop, focus on developing one job at a time, steer clear of in-game drama, save gems for essential purchases, be mindful of bond buff usage, and avoid joining parties with an unstable connection or while multitasking. Patience, strategic planning, and responsible gaming are key to success in Alchemia story. If you find this helpful, kindly subscribe to my channel. You'll not miss this kind of content. As always, thank you for watching.